Hello everyone, welcome back to Law Penology. Today we'll be talking about special sentencing provisions for juveniles or children. The Government of India has ratified the Convention on Rights of the Child in 1992 and reenacted the existing law relating to juveniles, keeping in mind the standards of the Convention and the Beijing Rules. The Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2000 is now replaced by a new Act of 2016 which adopts a child friendly approach in the education relating to juveniles in conflict with law. The object of the Act is to reform and rehabilitate the juvenile offender as useful citizens in the society. The problem of juvenile delinquency is not new and affects all societies, simple as well as complex. Research indicates that the number of factors for the neglect and delinquency are mostly common and interrelated. Based on socioeconomic and psychological reasons, poverty, broken homes, family tensions, emotional abuse, rural urban migration, breakdown of social values, and joint family system, atrocities and abuses by parents or guardians, faulty educational system, the influence of media, besides the unhealthy living conditions of slums and such other conditions, explain the phenomena of juvenile delinquency. The neglect of children by their parents, family, society, and the nation create detrimental effect on their physical, mental growth, and overall development. Needless to say that most of the factors causing delinquency are in plenty in the Indian context, and any attempt to prevent and control them can be fruitful for the society. As per juvenile justice law, the delinquent child under the provisions of the Act shall not be imprisoned or sent to jail. If any juvenile is apprehended by the police, he shall be placed under the charge of a special juvenile police unit or the designated police officer, who shall immediately report the matter to the member of Juvenile Justice Board. He may be kept in observation homes and special homes constituted under the Act during the pendency of any inquiry against him, but is not sent to jail. If he is a juvenile, according to the board, and is charged of a bailable or non-bailable offence, and is arrested or appears or is brought before a board, he shall be released on bail with or without surety by the board. As per the new Act of 2015, the term juvenile has been removed and replaced by the term child to remove the negative connotation of the term juvenile. Section 2, subsection 13 of the new Act provides for child in conflict with law, which means a child who is alleged or found to have committed an offence, who has not completed 18 years of age on the date of commission of such offence. The new Act of 2015 provides for three categories of crimes according to which the liability of the child shall be decided. These are: A. A heinous offence is an offence that attracts a minimum penalty of 7 years imprisonment under any existing law. B. A serious offence is one that gets imprisonment between 3 to 7 years. And C. A petty offence is penalized with up to 3 years imprisonment. For heinous crimes, a juvenile aged between 16 and 18 years could be sent to children's court to decide whether to try juvenile as an adult based on the preliminary inquiry done by Juvenile Justice Board. The board tries to assess the mental physical development of juvenile and whether the juvenile was aware of consequences of his her act. So according to the new act, now any person who is below the age of 18 years is a child. However, the new act also provides for the option of treating a child between the age of 16 to 18 years who has committed a heinous crime to be treated as an adult. Further, under Section 15, special provisions have been made to tackle child offenders committing heinous offences in the age group of 16 and 18 years. The Juvenile Justice Board is given the option to transfer cases of heinous offences by such children to the Children's Court of Session, after conducting preliminary assessment. The provisions provided for placing children in the place of safety both during and after the trial till they attain the age of 21 years, after which an evaluation of the child shall be conducted by the Children's Court. After the evaluation, the child is either released on probation, or if the child is not reformed, then the child will be sent to jail for remaining term. The law will act as a deterrent for child offenders committing heinous offences such as rape and murder, and will protect the right of victims. While sentencing now, there is more emphasis upon restorative justice rather than punitive justice, and children poses a greater potential of being rehabilitated, and the international human rights standards and laws give precise information on how children and juveniles who come into conflict with the law should be treated. The key aim of juvenile justice is therefore not to punish children who commit criminal offences, but to ensure child and juvenile offenders get help and support they need not to come into conflict with the law again. The most important point, juvenile justice regulation in international human rights standard are as follows. An absolute ban on death penalty for acts committed before the age of 18. Absolute ban on life sentences without the chance of early release for act committed before age of 18. Children and juveniles should only be held in detention as a last resort and for the shortest period possible. Children and juvenile in detention must be accommodated separately from adults and in surroundings appropriate to their age. Children too have a right to a fair trial. In their case, this also means that their age and particular needs to be taken into consideration in the courtrooms or similar. Judges, lawyers, and other officials who deal with children in conflict with the law must be trained to know the rights and needs of children. Violence against children is never acceptable, including as a disciplinary measure. States must do everything they can to make sure that children do not come into conflict with the law in the first place. There are also some special recommendations for very young children of mothers who are in prison. And where it is best for the child to stay with his or her mother. Despite the large number of specialist human rights standards for children, hundreds of thousands of children around the world suffer serious violations of their human rights at the hands of security forces or within the criminal justice system. In several countries, street children in particular are at risk of arbitrary detention and maltreatment and violence in prison. Approaches for the treatment of young offenders. There are two basic approaches for the treatment of young offenders: the individual and group methods of treatment. Generally, the individual method of treatment is adopted by psychologists, psychiatrists, sociologists, and social workers. The sociologists generally concentrate on social engineering and social culture, which lead to delinquency, the causes and effect of criminality and delinquency, and psychologists generally treat the individual, emphasizing on his interpersonal dynamics. Following are the basic therapies applied by treatment of young offenders: psychotherapy, reality therapy, behavioral therapy, activity therapy, milieu therapy, social casework, individual counseling, vocational counseling. So, these are the various approaches regarding the treatment of young offenders. Talking about each one of them, the first we take up psychotherapy. The child who is emotionally starved tends to become antisocial. Such a delinquent is kept in an atmosphere of love and acceptance without the fear of being rejected or punished. He is given total space and right to interact openly, which facilitates him to solve the conflicts within him and provides positive alternative to his adaptation of behavior. Second is reality therapy. A child who is unable to fulfill the basic needs may act irresponsibly. This therapy delinks the present with the past, and the delinquent is helped to act in a responsible way. The child past is made insignificant. He is to obey rules, but if he does not, he is rejected. This he is not rejected. This gives him strength. तो अगर वह बच्चा गलती करता है तो उसको रिजेक्ट नहीं किया जाता और इसी से उसको ताकत मिलती है. थर्ड इज बिहेवियरल थेरेपी. इट मीन्स bringing change in behavior of delinquent by positive or negative reinforcements. The child is made to practice more of positive behavior and learn to reduce or eliminate negative behavior. The approach towards life is changed positively. Fourth is activity therapy. These are for children who are lacking verbal ability so as to communicate effectively. The children are encouraged to play or to do some artistic work. This creates a neutral and relaxed environment which tends to soothe up the children, building positive energy around them. Milieu therapy. This therapy is for children who have become behaviorally deviant and as a reaction to unfavorable conditions of life. The aim is to give this juvenile an atmosphere in which he can satisfactorily adjust himself and facilitate a meaningful change. Sixth is social case work. A social worker works on the life of a delinquent, trying to solve his problems and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses and help accordingly. But this system is not so helpful due to lack of trust and non cooperation from the family of the delinquent. Seventh is the individual counseling. Here, the client is re educated to understand his immediate situation for solving this problem or his problem. There are child guidance clinics for this purpose. Last being the vocational counseling. This increases the knowledge of the client regarding the choice of his career, job specification, qualification, and training for successful employment. The development of his positive attitude, skills, habit, and refinement in his work can bring a change in the relationship with the society. So, here we have discussed in detail the special sentencing provision for juveniles or the children and the approaches for the treatment of the young offenders. So, this chapter is going to help you in your preparation for the legal field, practical as well as competitive. Keep studying. God bless you all.